In today's segment, we'll make this decadent chocolate cake, frosting included. So let's get started. Pour 1 pint of heavy cream into a heavy bottom saucepan and have it come to a slow simmer. Avoid the skin from forming. Take 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. Ghirardelli is my favorite. Break it up, place it into a bowl, and carefully pour the hot cream. Let it sit for 15 minutes before whisking. Continue whisking until the cream darkens in color and the flecks are no longer visible. If the ganache still has flecks of chocolate after the bar has fully melted, nuke it in the microwave for 15 seconds and continue whisking until the flecks disappear. Continue doing the 15-second interval until the flecks are gone. Notice the spatula, no more flecks. Well, actually 1 or 2, but that's okay. Cover it and put in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours or overnight. Whip the ganache on high for about 3 minutes until it becomes a frosting consistency. The cake is good for 2 8-inch or 6-inch pans. Coat the bottom and sides with baking spray and line the bottom with parchment paper. And set it aside. Let's talk cocoa. My favorite unsweetened cocoa brands are Ghirardelli and Trader Joe's. Try both, see which one you prefer the best. Put 3/4 cup of cocoa into a bowl and pour 1 3/4 cup of boiling water. Whisk very well and set aside until it completely cools off. In a new bowl, add 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Sift and then whisk to make sure the ingredients are distributed evenly. In a new bowl, we'll add the wet ingredients. 2 eggs, 3/4 cup of canola oil, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then pour the cocoa mixture. Make sure it's completely cooled off. You don't want scrambled eggs. Whisk as vigorously as you like because once the dry ingredients go in, you gotta slow it down. Add 2 cups of white granulated sugar and continue whisking until it's completely dissolved. Pour in the dry ingredients and whisk just until it's well incorporated. Remember, do not overmix because you'll end up with chocolate bread. Also, you'll start to notice the bubbles forming as you're mixing. This is good. It means the baking soda is activating, but it also means that you gotta get that thing in the oven like now. The cake goes into a preheated 350-degree oven for 35 to 40 minutes. You will check 27 to 28 minutes in because every oven is calibrated differently and you don't want the cake to overbake. Place the cake on a rack and allow it to cool in the pan for at least 15 minutes before inverting. The remainder of the steps are totally optional. Your cake is done and you could frost it just the way you like with the dome. However, if you want it to have a more professional appearance, what you'll have to do is remove the dome, which is pretty easy. Using a serrated knife, place your hand on the dome. Place the knife at your desired position and keep the knife in place. Rotate to create a guide. Now you can carefully saw back and forth until the dome comes off evenly. Something important that I forgot to mention, when you're cutting a cake, especially when you're a newbie, keep it at eye level. I didn't do it. I was at eye level halfway towards the end, but if you're a true beginner, it's going to make it a lot easier if you look directly at the cake. Also notice that I placed the crumb side on the cake board. It's less messy. Keep the fillings light. You don't want it to seep out. And plus, you'll be adding enough to the outside of the cake when you decorate it. You don't need an expensive turntable. The one I have is from Wilton's and I've had it for about 5 years or so. The second layer of the cake was never leveled out, which is fine, but if you're going to go through trouble of leveling out one, you might as well do both. Also, you avoid the arduous task of over frosting. You already know your cake is lopsided, so you could only level it out by putting more frosting on one side. The first layer of frosting is called the crumb coat, which simply means that I'm encasing the crumbs into the frosting. After I'm done, this goes into the fridge for about 15 to 20 minutes. I bring it out, then I apply a subsequent layer. Then I'll smooth out the cake with a bench scraper and have it ready to pipe. One last note on ganache. It's not forgiving in warmer climates, so if you live in a warm region, it's best to use buttercream. Also, ganache is not meant for intricate piping details. I've used simple rosettes that are quick to put on until it comes out of the refrigerator and served almost immediately. If you're interested in any buttercream recipes, I have that link below the video. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!